Alright. Welcome to Blue Pill Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is August 5th, 2026. So, just got off work. Got off on time, so that's cool. It was an awesome day. It was a good day. Kind of rainy weather. We did get rain towards the end of the day, which is good, because I worked. Today we've been doing installs. We haven't been building cabinets. We are so far ahead that we've just been doing installs here lately. So today we got all the uppers pretty much installed. I'm guessing tomorrow. It's an 8-plex, so tomorrow we will probably do all the lower ones for the kitchens, cabinets, installs, so that'll be fun. Yeah, easy day, cool weather, just hanging out with coworkers. My boss bought lunch today, which was pretty cool, Taco Bell, so I had a Crunchwrap Supreme and a cheesy Fiesta potato on the house, always a plus. You don't get that at Kroger. No, they give us they'll give us like some Little Caesars every now and then. Or what Kroger loved to do was they would promise us, hey, we're gonna hook you guys up with like a lunch or a dinner. By the way, listen to this shit. So like I'm gonna gossip a little. Sorry, I don't like Kroger, man. They suck, dude. So Kroger, my first time ever getting a job at Kroger. I was going in for an interview and an interview to get the job, right? So I go in for the interview and they bring in this gigantic bag of Chick-fil-A, chicken sandwiches and French fries. Chick-fil-A is expensive as fuck. So I'm like, and they're like, hey, do you want a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and French fries? And I'm like, yeah. I don't know about you, but that's like the best chicken sandwich on the face of the earth is a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, dude. I'm sorry. Y'all can argue with me in the comment section. I don't give a fuck. Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, best chicken sandwich ever. And I was like, yeah, I'll take one, you know. So I got one and did the interview. And left and was like, went home with a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and fries. And my wife's like, what are you doing with that? Because at the time I was unemployed, you know. We were broke as shit, you know. And I'm like, they gave it to me at Kroger. Apparently they ordered the entire staff Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches and French fries. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, this is going to be an awesome place to work for. I started working third shift, right? And they're like, oh, they don't do us like that. First shift gets treated like amazing, you know. They get awesome food like that. We get like Little Caesars pizza at closing time. Like we get dog shit, you know. I don't know, I just thought it was funny. One of the cats is fucking bugging. Serious, Horace, quit. You will eat when I feed you, dude. It is not time to eat yet, fatty. And he's the fattest cat we own. Alright, so as far as updates though, I put out a podcast. Well, I recorded it this morning in my driveway, in the car. It should have come out by now. I'm gonna record this one, and this will be the second one for today and the final one. And then I'm gonna eat and lay down and probably play some video games and chill out. I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to the channel, I will snail mail you a Conspiracy Corner podcast bookmark. I will sign the back of it. These are going quick. They're getting slim. Next thing I'm going to do is make a Blue Pill Podcast bumper sticker for Blue Pill Podcast listeners. I know there has been 2 or 3 people who have donated in general who are automatically going to get one because they've made multiple donations and I had nothing to give them. So they're automatically going to get some Blue Pill Podcast stickers. But yeah, if you donate and you're a new donor, it helps me pay bills, man. Honestly, it helps me make ends meet. But let's get on with the show. So currently, I am playing on original hardware, and I don't mind to show it off. I'm on a Zelda quest right now. So on original hardware, on an SP, I'm playing Link's Awakening, the original. As you can see, it's a little damaged, but I bought it that way. I had to put a saving battery in it, so I'm playing it, and I will be reviewing the original black and white. I did a review on the black cartridge of the DX, so look forward to that. I'm also playing the second quest of the original Legend of Zelda, and I also, on my Zelda adventure, am playing Game & Watch Gallery 4 for Game Boy Advanced. Now, Abe, that doesn't make sense. What are you talking about, Game & Watch Gallery 4 for Game Boy Advance? That's not a Zelda game. It's not, but it is. If you beat and get enough points on this, you can unlock the Game & Watch Zelda. And by the way, I have a Game & Watch Zelda box and manual coming in the mail that I found for super cheap. It is not the original, it's reprints. I think it was like AliExpress or one of those shady-ass companies. But it'll let us get to see the box because I'm going to put my gallery cartridge in there. Once I unlock the Zelda Game & Watch, I'm going to put it in there and keep it in there. It'll look cool on the shelf. And I will play and review the Zelda Game & Watch. So, here lately, I've been putting out a shit ton of Blue Pill podcast episodes. And I'm not going to lie. That means, honestly, if you're a Conspiracy Corner listener, don't get me wrong, I'm still into conspiracies. But I go through phases, and when I'm in a good state of mind, because I'm someone who struggles with MDD, I'm someone who struggles with psychosis sometimes. I do slip into psychosis because I used to be a drug user. I used to do a lot of hallucinogenics. Yeah. So, I was a psychonaut. Anytime I'm in a good state of mind, I put out more Blue Pill podcasts than I put out Conspiracy Corner. So don't look at that as a bad thing. Don't get discouraged and unsubscribe and be like, oh, Abe's putting out... Because I have 2 podcasts, Conspiracy Corner podcasts and then Blue Pill podcasts. And if I'm putting out more Blue Pill podcast episodes, don't just unsubscribe and just be like, oh, Abe's putting out more of this shit, you know. He's gone Blue Pill. He's going Joe Rogan. He's like not awake anymore. No, I'm still awake. This is what makes me happy. And when I feel good, it makes me want to do Blue Pill episodes. So I'm currently playing Link's Awakening, black and white. And by the way, I think there's a Link's Awakening playlist. I know there's a Zelda playlist, so just check out the Zelda playlist. But I do think I created a Link's Awakening playlist, and I'm going to add this to it. I'm currently playing the black and white Link's Awakening. It's my favorite game. I have to say it's my second favorite game. My first favorite game ever would be Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. That game is just beautiful. But Link's Awakening is one of the few games that made me cry, dude, playing it. And it's actually funny what reminded me to do this episode, because I had already been kind of planning this episode in my handy dandy notebook, was this character named Prince Richard. So here's a picture of Prince Richard. He looks fuck. And we're gonna get into the backstory of who this badass looking dude is. My brother, Brandon, my older brother. So he was older than us. He was in high school and we were in like elementary and middle school. And there's huge age gaps between me and my brothers. Me and my younger brother, we're not too big of an age gap, like only 2 or 3 years, so not too bad. But he would get to stay up late at night, like at least 1 or 2 hours later than us. So we would have to go to bed, and I was the owner of Link's Awakening, the black cart. And he'd be like, hey, do you care? He would ask me like every night, hey, do you care if I play it for a couple hours? Because you got to go to bed. I would play for the most part, but like once it was my bedtime, I'd go, yeah, here you go. And I'd hand it off to him. And I remember him, there's a scene in Link's Awakening. So Link's Awakening has tons of cameos, and we're going to get into that in the next review. We probably did cover it in the DX review, so go check that out. I'll link it down below. There's tons of cameos in it. Kirby's in it. Terran could possibly be like a Mario type figure. There's Princess Peach cameo. There's Mr. Right from SimCity. There's Goombas. There's all sorts of cameos. And this one character, I remember him telling me, dude, last night I got further on the game. And I'm like, okay, so I'm all ears. Tell me. He's like, I met this guy. His name's Prince Richard. And he's got frogs all inside of his house. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And he's like, yeah, he lives on the outskirts of this castle, and all his servants went berserk and went insane, you know. And they took over the castle, and I'm like, dude, this sounds fucking cool as hell. And it's one of my favorite parts of Link's Awakening. It is an epic part. I would consider it a dungeon, because you have to go to his castle. Well, you meet Prince Richard in his villa on the outskirts of the castle, and you're like, hey, dude, he's like, hey, all my servants went berserk, I'm hiding out here, and by the way, this dude wields a sword, and he looks cool as fuck. He's got a cape, I just showed you, and he's like, yeah, I want you to go back to the castle and retrieve 5 golden leaves that I left behind, because I had to leave, like, frantically. They just started attacking me and going crazy. So that it's like a cool ass scene, cool ass story. And I remember as a kid going, dude, this dude needs his own video game. Turns out he has his own video game. I didn't know this shit until literally like last week or the last week before, like sometime this month. I just found out. And I had said this shit before, like, I had mentioned this when I was playing Oracle of Ages. There's a side character in there called Ralph, and I think that they used the same sprites as Solomon's Club, which we did a whole video on Solomon's Club. I think it's titled The Poor Man Zelda. It's in the Zelda playlist on YouTube. I'll try to link it down below if I can remember on Spotify. I was like, dude, they need to make a whole side game of Ralph as the main character, because he's questing alongside of you to save Nehru, because Nehru is his love interest. Zelda is obviously Link's love interest. But yeah, I was like, dude, wouldn't it be cool if they made like a whole game of like Ralph's adventure? Not Link or Zelda, but Ralph. Because he would come in through cutscenes of like, he was questing alongside of you. You just didn't see his quest, but he would pop in every now and then on cutscenes. You know, and it was almost like a race between Link and Ralph to rescue Nehru, you know. But when I seen this Prince Richard guy, I'm like, I want to hear his backstory. I want to know his backstory. This guy needs his own game. And I was thinking this as a child. Turns out, the dude had his own game. It's a cameo from another game. And because, spoiler alert, Link's Awakening is a dream world with all these cameos. That's why there's all these cameos, because it's a dream. It's not real. Spoilers. Prince Richard has his own game, so today we're going to delve into Prince Richard, and The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls is the title of his game. So, Prince Richard is a character in the Japan-only Game Boy game, The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls. By the way, dude, I want to pick up a cartridge of this. I'm playing on an SP. I don't know if it can play Japanese carts. I'm willing to buy and see. Just try it out if I can play it. Original hardware. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look at the gameplay and see what's going on. If it's like something that's text heavy. And by the way, I have no clue what this beeping noise is. You're going to have to deal with it. I'm sorry, man. But I'm going to have to see, like, is it a game? Because it's Japan only. Is it a game that I can play not knowing Japanese, you know? So, he is the prince, and by the way, can I even get it cheap, you know? He is the prince of the Custard Kingdom and a childhood friend to the Prince of Sable Kingdom, with whom he competes in about everything. His role in the game is as rival to the player who is traveling towards the same goal. His character description. Despite being the same age as his rival, Richard seems to be more mature in several ways. He is responsible for at least a part of the army and is treated as a leader rather than a prince in training by the people surrounding him. He also isn't struggling. Hang on, let me see if I can turn this down. He keeps giving me notifications. Let's try that. Alright, so despite being the same age as his rival, Richard seems to be more mature in several ways. He is responsible for at least a part of the army and is treated as a leader rather than a prince in training by the people surrounding him. He also isn't struggling as much in developing as a person. Prince Richard is the fashionable of the two and often considered cool. This not only refers to his looks, which, by the way, his character design looks cool and his sprite design looks cool, at least in Link's Awakening, but also his personality. He is slightly cocky, if only towards the Prince of Sable, shrewd and competitive. Never would he miss a chance to show his rival who is the stronger prince. Prince Sable, however, only sees him as a stubborn and self-conceited know-it-all. His rivalry with the Prince of Sable originates from them being equals in about everything, including looks, intelligence, and even age. Richard is, however, far superior in fencing, swordplay, fiddlesticks, where he never once has been defeated. He loves to tease Prince Sable for this, as it is the one area where one of them stands out. See, dude, this sounds cool as fuck. And I did look a little bit into it. It sounds like it's a side-scrolling platformer. Hopefully you play as Prince Richard, because he looks cool. Playing some kind of like Hook, or like I have one. It's, I think, Lady Sia. That's a side scroll sword play one. Hook, you play as Peter Pan. I love side scroll sword games. So I hope it is that, because honestly, dude, if it's a side-scroll platformer, from me just delving into it a little bit, I may actually pick this up, and hopefully it works on my original hardware. This isn't too original. I think it might be Japanese. I think it's compatible with Japanese, because there's region locks and shit. I'll have to look into it, and I could buy a region lock Game Boy and get this. Because if it's cheap enough, I'm going to pick this up, because I love Zelda. And I love Zelda enough. And I've been delving into, like, the weird Zelda games. compared to most people who jump into the mainstream ones like Ocarina of Time and all that shit. I'm delving into like weird ass fucking bootleg Zeldas, like demake Zeldas. I have a Zelda's Adventure over there. I covered it as far as the unboxing and review of it, and I beat it. They demade Zelda's Adventure word for word, ones and zeros, completely the same exact game, but demade it from CDI Philips into original hardware Game Boy. It's fucking awesome. I love playing weird shit like that. I am like the weird Zelda fan. So for me to be able to play this and review it, I'm stoked. I'm going to look it up and see how much it costs. And if you know just about price range, like hit me up in the comments below, because this will definitely be featured on a Blue Pill podcast. So what is Prince Richard's abilities? Just like the Sable Prince, Richard learns the ability to transform into a frog during his adventure. So he can transform into a frog. This is Prince Richard and his frog. Looks fucking awesome. And he's got like the pompadour too. Oh, that's fucking awesome. That's awesome. It allows him to, so hence why on Link's Awakening his villa is just full of frogs jumping around. If you go into his villa, it's infested with frogs. And I remember seeing that as a kid. It tripped me out. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's crazy. He's like some weird prince with a cape and looks cool and has a sword. And because if in Link's Awakening, if you don't know, at least the DX version, there's a photo booth and a little mouse. And if you go to certain places and certain people, he will take a picture with you and it'll show like a screenshot. And one of them is like Link and Prince Richard both like holding out their swords and, you know, looking all cool and shit. And it's pretty cool. On Link's Awakening, you can actually hook it up to an actual Game Boy printer and it prints them off like almost like a card, which would be cool if you laminated it, put it in a binder. And one day I'm going to get the printer, you know, because I'm a weird retro collector like that. I would love to have an original Link's Awakening print, you know. It allows him to swim and to pass through water, jump higher, and communicate with other frogs. So it almost turns into like a Frogger adventure, you know, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Which is of great help to find his way through the land. Unlike his rival, however, he doesn't seem to learn to transform into a snake. Ooh! So his rival transforms into a snake. Satan. And what does snakes eat? Frogs, motherfucker. Giving him an advantage in their competitive quest. His appearances are for the frog, the bell tolls, is his game. So when the game begins, Prince Richard is practicing fencing with Prince Sable at the Custard Kingdom's fencing ground, playing fiddlesticks. Just as he is about to score yet another win, they are interrupted by the message that their allies, the Mille Feuille Kingdom. Yeah, by the way, there's like tons of like Francois, like French references in the game, and they do make him, because I think like even in Link's Awakening he speaks like broken French / English. He says like oy vey and like oui oui, you know, oui s'il vous plaît, like he like speaks like a broken French English. It's kind of cool. So they definitely put like a French style on this game. So the Mille Feuille Kingdom has been invaded by the Garonians. So I guess that's the villains. As the Princess Tiramisu, yeah, like I said, French, dude. As the Princess Tiramisu, Masu's booty is said to be unmatched. Both princess, not princess, realize the opportunity to be heroes and to win her heart. So basically the same concept of Zelda. You are a hero trying to win the Holy Grail, you know. Prince Richard immediately prepares his army and orders for a ship to be made available. The Prince of Sable attempts to follow onto the ship, but Prince Richard wants to make sure he is unrivaled in his quest, and he kicks him off. Prince Sable, knowing that the time is scarce, searches the harbor and ends up buying a ship to follow Prince Richard, setting up for the biggest competition between the two yet. Dude, this game sounds fucking dope. So here's another image of him. That's what I'm saying, dog. Look at that shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick this game up. I'm gonna have to find it. I'm gonna take the risk and buy the Japanese version. Hopefully it plays on my SP, and hopefully I get to experience it and give a good, proper review. This sounds fucking sick. So here's where it gets into Link's Awakening and where it ties into Zelda. Prince Richard has made a single appearance out of his game as a minor character in The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. So this is the one and only appearance he's ever made outside of his own game. What was it? For Whom the Frog Tolls or something? The title is so weird, by the way. It reminds me of that Metallica, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Time Marches On. But, yeah, I don't even know what that would mean. For Whom the Frog Tolls. So, Prince Richard has made a single appearance out of his game as a minor character. So, this is the only time he's been featured. It would be cool. He would be a good Super Smash Brothers character. Like an unlockable. Obviously, not a main one because Link's Awakening is not a super popular Zelda game. It's my favorite Zelda game ever. But it is not... For some reason, it never made it big. Even though I think it's the best Zelda ever created. Usually all the credit goes towards like Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild. Honestly though, dude, I like the weird Zeldas. The underdogs. The weird ones. I've always been that type of person. I've always liked the weird games, you know. So he used to live in Canelet Castle at Koholint Island, but he was chased out of when his servants went berserk. He moved to his villa on the island, and when Link finds him there, he is asked to recover Richard's 5 golden leaves, which were forgotten in the castle. He reprises his role in the Nintendo Switch remake. So he is in the remake. He also appears in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate as a spirit. So he... Okay. I'm not even joking. I did not even read this article. So I was already saying he needs to be in Super Smash Brothers. So you can play as Prince Richard in Super Smash Brothers. Fuck yeah, dude. That makes me happy. But yeah, dude, like I said, so the game that I'm looking for is Japanese. And it's supposedly a side scroll. Here's the cover for it. I'm going to find this game and I'm going to purchase it. I want to play as Prince Richard because to me it is a Zelda game. It's a side Zelda game, you know. It connects with the series. Karu no Tame ni Kane wa Naru, officially translated as The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, is an action-adventure role-playing video game developed by Nintendo and Intelligent Systems, and it was published by Game Boy in 1992. I was born in 1991. So, in a faraway land, 2 princes, which we already got into the story, Prince Richard, Princess Tiramisu. Unlike most games with turn-based combat, the combat has automatic combat with player involvement. When the players make the Prince Sable touch an enemy, the game does not shift into a battle scene. Instead, it kicks up a cloud of dust as the battle ensues and Prince of Sable and the enemy engage with each other. If the Prince Sable is significantly stronger than the enemy is instantly defeated. So this is interesting. I'm going to have to look into the actual gameplay and see what it looks like. If you've ever played this game, or if you know anything about this game, hit me up in the comments below. Yeah, I wanted to cover Prince Richard, Link's Awakening, the frog for whom the bell tolls. I hope you all enjoyed. It's a Blue Pill podcast episode, but it'll be in the Zelda playlist. Go check out my other Zelda episodes if you're a huge fan of Zelda, and love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're on YouTube. If you're not, answer the poll on Spotify. It helps me with the algorithms. And that's about all she wrote. Y'all keep gaming. Game on, baby!